Hello students, welcome back. Today let us take discussion on the numericals that we have discussed in the previous two classes. So the first numerical that I would like to discuss is something like this. Two springs have their spring constants K1 and K2. Both are stretched till their elastic potential energies are equal. If the stretching forces are F1 and F2, find F1 by F2. Okay, here it is given that elastic potential energies are equal. So what we can say? U1 is equal to U2. This is given. So U1 can be said as half K1 x1 square. We know elastic potential energy that gets stored in a spring is half kx square. So half k1 x1 square, half k2 x2 square. This is what we get. Now from this, if we simplify, we can say k1 by k2 is equal to x2 by x1 whole square. This is exactly what we are getting. Or we can say K1 by K2 root of it is x1 by x2 by x1. This is what we can say. Now we need to find the ratio of F1 by F2. So now F1 by F2 can be written as K1 x1 by K2 x2. This is what we can write. We know F is equal to K into X. So this is same as K1 by K2 into x1 by x2. K1 by K2 is given to us. It is given. So our answer should come in terms of this. X1 by x2 will be what? So this we can write as K1 by K2 into x2 by x1 is this. So I can write here, or x1 by x2 is root of k2 by k1. We can write this way. So x1 by x2 is root of k2 by k1. Simplify this. So therefore we can say f1 by f2 will be, if you simplify this, you will get root of k1 by k2. That is your answer. This is exactly how, see students, what is given in the question, try to write that, record the data, what is given in the question. It will become very easy for you to solve the numericals. Now let us take the next question. Well student, the next question is like this. It reads this way: a long spring is stretched by 1 centimeter. If work done in the process is W, then find out work done in further stretching it by 1 centimeter. Further stretching it by 1 centimeter. Okay. Now, it says given is X is 1 centimeter, work done is W. This is the work done, so this is the energy stored in the spring when it is stretched by 1 centimeter. So therefore we can say work done is nothing but the elastic potential energy that gets stored in the spring. So that is given as half k x square. Now it is stretched by 1 centimeter. So from this we can say W is half k, let us say 1 square. So from this we can say W is k by 2. This is one expression we got, relation between the spring constant and W. Now X, now the next X I will take it as 2 centimeter because it is stretched, further stretching it by 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter you have stretched, further 1 centimeter. So from the beginning it is 2 centimeter. So W dash will be half K. Spring is the same thing, so spring constant will remain the same thing, and here we will say x square is 2 square. So this gives us half k into 4. Half k is what? W. So therefore we can say W dash is 4W. Now this is not the answer. Students, please concentrate. This is not the answer. This was the answer to stretch it by 2 centimeter. But the question is given by additional 1 centimeter. So work done in stretching the spring by further 1 centimeter is W dash minus W. For 1 centimeter, for 2 centimeter minus 1 centimeter. So this gives us 4W minus W. So this is 3W. So the answer is 3W. This is exactly how. Please understand, if the question is given what is the work done to stretch it by 2 centimeter, but it says further 1 centimeter, that is why we are doing W dash minus W. Hope this method is clear. This type of questions are commonly asked in KCET. Now let us take the next question. The next question reads like this: a 20 Newton stone falls from a height of 4 meter. So we will say mg, this is given as 20 Newton, h is given as 4 meter. Onto a spring with spring constant. So spring constant is given 1960 Newton per meter. Write the equation to find out the maximum compression of the spring. See, if you try to see this diagrammatically, it would be something like this. See, a spring is there and it is like this. So a stone, let us say this is a 20 Newton stone, falls from a height. So this is the height. Now what we can say, because the stone is falling on it, this particular stone will exert a force of 20 Newton on the spring, and this spring will get compressed. Let us say it comes to this position. So the compression here we have taken as the maximum compression, like this. This is a compression that which has happened. Now how to proceed? See, this stone is falling by a distance of h plus x max. So there is a loss in the gravitational potential energy for the stone. Now that loss in potential energy is going where? That potential energy is going to the spring. It is storing in the spring in the form of its elastic potential energy. So what we can say here, loss in gravitational potential energy of the stone is equal to gain in elastic potential energy of the spring. See, this is what is happening. So the loss in gravitational potential energy of the stone is mg into h plus, this is what we have, is equal to half k x square. This is what we get. Now simplify this equation. Substitute the values. mg is given as 20, h is given as 4 plus x. This is what we get. This is equal to half k is 1960 into, so this is what we get. So what will be the equation now? You can always simplify this. So what we get? So this is 20. 4, we can say 4 plus x. This is equal to 20 will come to the down. So 1960 upon 40, and here we will write it as 4 plus x. This can be written as 1960 upon 40. Simplify. So 4 plus x max is equal to this is the equation. So 49 minus 4 equal to 0. So this is the equation. This is exactly how, see, students, concentrate. Here the concept that we have used, the loss in gravitational potential energy of the mass of this stone, this is storing in the form of elastic potential energy in the spring. So this is the concept which is involved in this numerical. Let us take now the next numerical. Well, students, the next question is something like this. Here we have choices also. A block of mass m moving with speed v compresses a spring through a distance x. Before its speed is halved, what is the value of the spring constant? We are given with 4 choices. See how to solve this question. First, what it says, initial speed, what is given? Initial speed is v, and final speed is halved, so v by 2. So when there is a decrease in speed, this means there is a loss in kinetic energy. So what we can conclude? Therefore, loss in kinetic energy is how much? Half m v square minus half m v by 2 square. This is the loss. If it is change in kinetic energy, you will do final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. Already we are writing it as loss. Therefore, final kinetic energy will be less than the initial kinetic energy. That is why I am taking initial kinetic energy minus final. So this gives us how much? You can take half mv square common. So 1 minus 1 by 4. So this gives you 3 by 4. This is what is the loss in kinetic energy. Now where is this loss in kinetic energy going? The loss in kinetic energy is going into the spring. So the spring will gain elastic potential energy. So now gain in elastic potential energy of the spring, this will be half kx square. Why? Because unstretched length, there x is 0. It stretches by x. That is how we can say gain in elastic potential energy as half kx square. So using the conservation of energy, what we can say is loss in kinetic energy should be equal to gain in potential energy. So from conservation of energy, we can say loss in kinetic energy is equal to gain in potential energy. So half mv square into 3 by 4. This is a loss in kinetic energy. This will be equal to half kx square. So now what is the question asked? Value of the spring constant. So we need k. Half cancels on both sides. Please check this. This half cancels. So what we have? K. So k is equal to 3 mv square by 4x square. This is how we can get. So 3 mv square by 4x square. So our answer in this case is A. That is exactly how, see, this question can be solved by the simple concept of loss in kinetic energy is gain in potential energy. It is based on a simple concept of conservation of energy. Clear? Now let us take the next question. Well, students, the next question is like this. A block of mass m is attached to two springs of spring constant K1 and K2 as shown in the figure. See, this is a block of mass m. K1 is attached to this wall and K2 is attached to this wall. It is placed on a smooth surface, frictionless surface. The block is displaced by x towards right. So we are displacing it by x towards right and released. The velocity of the block when it is at x by 2. This is what is the question. So how to solve this? Now carefully observe x here and x by 2. This means what? The elastic potential energy of the spring is reducing because half kx square when it is, so we can write this way. Initial elastic potential energy half kx square. This is initial. What will be final? Final is half k x by 2 square. So final elastic potential energy of the spring is less than the initial elastic potential energy. Therefore, what we can conclude? Loss in elastic potential energy. This will be what? Loss initial minus final. So this gives us how much? Half kx square I can take common. 1 minus 1 by 4. So we get this as 3 by 4. This is the loss in elastic potential energy. Where is this loss or in the energy going? It cannot vaporize. So law of conservation of energy says this definitely gets transformed into some form. This is giving motion to the body, hence kinetic energy. So we have now gain in kinetic energy. First is it was at rest. Now let us say it got half mv square. We will write. So now gain, loss in potential energy should be equal to gain in kinetic energy. So half kx square into 3 by 4 will be equal to half mv square. Simplify this expression. If you try to simplify this expression, what we see? This half cancels out. So what do we have? So V is equal to, we have 3 by 4 will be there, kx square will be there, upon m will come and a root sign. So this is exactly how we can find out. So the answer here will be, since you see here, there are two springs, we considered only one spring, na? Right? So what we have to do is we have to transform this. This k will be what? K1 plus K2. So this is root of 3 by 4 K1 plus K2 into x square by m. That is exactly how we can find the equation. So our answer is B. Otherwise also you can say this way. Initial kinetic energy, yes, elastic potential energy, for this is half k1 x square, for this half k2 x square. So what is the total initial potential energy? Half k1 plus k2 and x square. Similarly for the final, that is exactly how we can go for. So here what I have done is I have taken k as the equivalent spring constant, and in the end I have substituted for the value of the equivalent spring constant. This is how we can solve such questions. Again students, see here we are using the concept of conservation of energy. So please understand how to use this conservation of energy in different situations. Now let us take the next question. Well students, the next question is from power. Let us try to understand how to use this. This question involves little bit of concepts from efficiency. The question reads like this: a pump on the ground floor of a building can pump water to fill a tank of volume 30 cubic meter. So let us record the data. So what are the given quantities? Volume is given as 30 cubic meter. In 15 minutes, so T is given as 15 minutes into 60, this will give you seconds. If the tank is 40 meter above the ground, so H is equal to 40 meter, and efficiency of the pump is given. Efficiency of the pump is 0.3, 30%, so it is 30 by 100, so it is 0.3. Always take it this way. How much electric power is consumed by the pump? Electric power consumed. Now, what is efficiency? We know efficiency is output by input. Output by input. Output work done upon input energy supplied. Output power upon input power also you can take. So I will extend this to output power by input power. Input power is what is asked. See, electric power consumed, you are supplying, that is getting consumed and converted into other form. So efficiency is given as 0.3 is equal to output power will be what? Output power is what? Energy by time. So output power upon, we can say, input power. We need input power, so therefore we can say input power supplied is output power upon 0.3. Till here it is fine. It is simply the equation of efficiency. Now input power, this will be what? Output power, that means output work done by time into 0.3. Output work, you can say this way also, output work. So output work done is how much? mgh, and this is T and this is 0.3. This is what we have, because from the ground level it is lifting. So how much is the work done? This is potential energy, so mgh will be the work done. Now pass on the values. Mass is what? Volume into density. That is why volume is given. So volume is 30 and density is 10 power 3. This is mass. Let us say G is 10. I am taking here for calculation ease, I am taking G as 10. If it is mentioned 9.8, please take it as 9.8. And height is given as 40 meters. So 40 meter divided by T is given as 15. So 15 into 60 into 0.3. This is exactly what we get. Now if you simplify this, what you will get? 30 and decimal will go, so you will have 100 here. On simplification, this will come to close to 43 kilowatts it will come. That is exactly how we can take up. It is close to, approximate to that. It is not actual. If you want actual, so we can take it this way. Remove this decimal, so here a 0 gets added, so this 3 here and 10 gets cancelled out, and this 0 here cancels out. Now what we can do is You can further simplify this. This is 200, this is 3. So what we get this as? 200 into 10 power 4 upon 15 into 3 is 45. You can do it this way. 15 into 3. So 5, 3, 15, 5, 4, 20. So this you get as 400 by 9 kilowatt. That is exactly what we get. So approximately this is what we get as the power. So calculation you can do it, no problem, but please concentrate on how exactly we are using the concept of efficiency. See here, this calculation you have to do it by yourself. Please check the calculation. Clear? This is very important question. This type of questions are very commonly asked in KCET. Now let us go to the next question. Well students, the next question is from power. See, this question is very conceptual, very important. You have to understand this. A body of mass m starting from rest from the origin moves along the x-axis with a constant power p. Find the relation between velocity and time, between distance and time, velocity and distance. If we find these two, we can get this. Correct? So what it says, P is constant. This is what is given. Power is constant. And what is power? We can write force into velocity is constant. This is what we can say. So force is what? Mass into acceleration into velocity. I can write the same thing as P. Na? You can write it this way, power. Or say, if you say that, no, it is one and the same thing. Now A is what? M dV by dt into V is, we have a constant P. M. So what I get from this equation? We can write this equation as V dV is equal to P by M dt. Now integrate both sides. On integrating both sides, integration of V dV is P by M integration of dt. Now what will be the limits? It says starting from rest. So 0, t is 0. In time t, let us say it becomes v. So what we get the integration? So this gives us v square by 2 is equal to, integration of v is v square by 2 is equal to p by m into t. Integration of dt is t, upper limit minus lower limit will give you again t. So therefore what we can say, v square is equal to 2p by m into t. In other words, v square is proportional to t or v is proportional to root t. So it says relation between velocity and time. So v is proportional to root t. This is your, you can say, first. Relation between distance and time. In order to find the second one, we got v, and v is what? Dx by dt. So dx by dt is square root of 2p by m into t power half. This is what we have from this equation. Correct? So dx is equal to root of 2p by m into t raised to half and a dt. This is what we get. Now what is to be done? Integrate both sides. If you integrate both sides, what you will get? Integration of dx root of 2p by m integration of t power half dx. What will be the limits? 0 to x, this is 0 to t. So integration of dx is x, so 2p by m, there will be a root. This will be integration of t power half. Half plus 1 is 3 by 2 by 3 by 2. So we can say x is proportional to t power 3 by 2. This is the relation between, second case, distance and time. Now correlate these two. First equation and second equation you correlate. Try to eliminate t. You will get it. Now from 1 and 2. See, from equation 1 and equation 2, what can we write? X power 1 by 3. See here. This is root t, na? So if I keep here root t, then I will get here x power 1 by 3. Right? So we can say v is proportional to x power 1 by 3 or v cube is proportional to x. This is what is the relation between velocity and distance. That is the third one. See students, here we are involving calculus. So you must know how to start from the given quantity. It was given power is a constant and power is what? Force into velocity. This is exactly how I have started from the what is given in the question. Always start from there, then you will be able to make out how to solve the numericals. It becomes very easy. Clear? Now let us take the next question. Well student, let us take this numerical. This question is also important from the entrance point of view. Work done in time t on a body of mass m which is accelerated from rest to a speed v in time t1 as a function of time. Work done. Now, work done is what? Change in kinetic energy. How did we get to know we have to use this? There is speed involved. So whenever there is a speed velocity involved, there will be kinetic energy. So work done is asked. So we can correlate work done with kinetic energy by using the work energy principle, which states that whatever is the work done by a body is equal to change in the kinetic energy of the body. Now change in kinetic energy is nothing but final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. Now the question clearly says from rest, therefore initial kinetic energy is 0, and this I can write as half m, let us say capital V I am using because already there is a small v. This is it. So we have work done, so therefore we can say work done is equal to half m v square. Now our aim is to find this v. This v is different from this v. Now what it says, first line says accelerated from rest. So here u is 0, final velocity v is given as v, in time t is t1. So therefore from these three relations we know v is equal to u plus at. So v is equal to u is 0a and t is t1. So we got acceleration as v by t1. Now this is what we got as the acceleration. Now again use the same equation. V is equal to u is 0 a in time t. In time t what the velocity would be. So v is equal to a is v by t1 into t. This is our v. Substitute this v here. So therefore we can say now work done is half m and v square. V square is v square by t1 square into t square. This is exactly how we can solve. Here the confusion is created in calculating the v. Please don't get confused here. The velocity, this v is given at a particular time interval t1, and you are asked to find as a function of time t. That is different. That is why don't get confused there. So what is the choice here? We get half m v square t1 square t square. So this is your answer. That is exactly how we can identify which is the answer, and the concept used here is work energy principle.